Hi everybody, it's Tracy Moreau here again. I wanted to show you today a few things about stencil brushes. You know that I work with stencils a lot and that I have my own stencil line as well as my own stencil brushes. But I wanted to fill you in on a few interesting things about stencil brushes and then at the same time introduce you to a brand new stencil line brush or a new line of stencil brushes from Dynasty that are really impressive. I've had an opportunity to play with them and I'm really excited. Now, stencil brushes traditionally are in this style, like this one here. This is a Dynasty Stenciler, has a nice hardwood handle, has a seamless double crimped ferrule, nice nickel plate, so this is not going to turn ugly black on you. Good quality. Nice and stiff, nicely balanced. And then there's this at the very end. This is the traditional type of hair used in stencil brushes. This is a hog's bristle. It's a very high quality. This one has a nice soft feel to it and a natural flag. Now the flag at the end of this is what makes a stencil brush worth its salt. In this particular case, the bristle is not cut. It has a natural flag, meaning that this is the natural end to the hairs. So this is where all that softness comes from. The only time that these bristles are cut are back here. This is the part that's cut. This part here is the natural end to the hair. So sometimes you will see little splits in it and things like that. So always remember these are not cut. So in a quality stencil brush, there's no cut. This is a natural flag. So this is a really great mid-price stencil brush, meaning it's not a cheap one. This is not going to run you $2 or $3 or not something you'll find at the dollar store. This is going to be about a $6 or $7 stencil brush and worth every penny. Great quality, will last you for years if you take good care of it. Now, my stencil brush, again, natural flag, great quality hair, but a little bit different. Mine is designed to work on a variety of surfaces, not just smooth surfaces. So for heavy textures, fabrics, walls, large smooth surfaces, furniture, whatnot. So this is a really great quality. Again, the price point is not going to be something you'll find at a dollar store. This one's going to run you probably between $6 and $7. Depending on the size, even as much as 10 on the great big ones and the big 1 1/4 inch. So great quality. Again, double crimped, nickel plated ferrule, nice little barrel handle, nicely balanced, comfortable to work with. Really great stencil brush. I've been using them for years. I use them in my classes. I use them in my own painted pieces. This is my workhorse. And then last week, my partner in crime at Dynasty, Miss Veronica, hi Veronica, sends me a goodie box with these. These are the Dynasty Stencil PRO. Completely different from these. Completely different from this. These are amazing. I had so much fun with these and I was so seriously impressed. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. One, they're really pretty. Nice bright red barreled handle. Same size handle. Gorgeous color. You'll note that there's no stamping or anything on them. These are prototypes. But they will have a really pretty font and everything on them by the time they get to the market. What's really cool about these, I have to tell you, they break with tradition. This is a synthetic. It's beautifully stiff. It has all the right stiffness that you would need and that you would get in a traditional hog's bristle stencil brush. However, this end, this flagged end, it has a synthetic flag, meaning that they have manufactured that fine point that you would find on a natural hair. Now, what does that do for stenciling? Well, let me tell you. This created some of the softest stencil looks I've seen in a very long time, and it did it so easily. It distributes paint beautifully and you can blend with it. Something that's not necessarily easy to do with acrylics in particular, with a natural bristle. This was amazing. I was so impressed. So I was tinkering around with the stencil brush. And there, I don't know if you can see it. So I was playing with it. And two things popped out right away was one, how easily the paint went on, and two, how easily I could transition from one color to the next to get those nice soft gradients. And then when I pulled the stencil away, I saw this nice uniform finish and these beautiful crisp edges. Just clean, clean, clean. And I really used very little paint, and the paint came off of the brush very easily. So it was literally effortless to get a great result, literally effortless. So I'm going to quickly show you just how easy they are to work with. So I'm going to select a size here. I'm going to work with, this one's about a 1/2 inch, which is a great size for a variety of things. Now I've got a piece of cardstock here, nice dark. I'm going to tape it in place so it doesn't move around, because I have a tendency to slide things out of the shot, so it'd just be better if I put a little tape in place so I'm not off in space somewhere and you're wondering where the hell I went. So I'm going to use just a lighter color. We're not creating a work of art here. I just want to show you how easily the stencil brush works. I'm going to use the Harlequin. Harlequin is my go-to. I like this pattern. So this Harlequin stencil will be my choice for this. And I'm going to position that on my surface, and I'm going to tape that in place as well, just to keep it from shifting. Now, to load this is just like loading any other stencil brush. I just pick up a small quantity of paint, you see on one side there, and I'm going to just swirl it on my surface and change directions frequently. Here, I'll show you how I do that. A little bit of color, and then I swirl it on my palette and change directions frequently, and it evenly distributes the color through the brush. Then I'm going to go to my paper towel and just gently blot to take off any excess paint. You don't want gobs of paint on this. So I didn't change my stenciling technique in any way whatsoever. I just straight up and down, and I worked in a circular fashion, and I changed directions frequently. And right away, the first thing I noticed was, one, how soft this brush is at that flagged end, and how beautifully it distributed the paint. The other thing I really liked about these was how soft the effect is. So when I lift up that stencil, look at how crisp and clean that is. It's absolutely flawless. Beautiful, crisp, razor sharp. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous brush. Really nice to work with. And I played with it on fabrics. It worked beautifully. I played with it on ultra smooth surfaces like a piece of furniture. I had a piece of varnished furniture. Did the same thing. Worked absolutely perfectly. What I really, really like about these is that ability to get that nice, crisp, clean with very little effort. I mean, and I haven't had to reload the brush, so I'm still getting great color. And look at that. Absolutely amazing. So this is the Dynasty Stencil Pro. Now, the price point is a little bit different than the traditional ones. Stands to reason. They're using a very high quality synthetic for this. The nickel plated ferrule, gorgeous painted handle, but they're still very reasonable. So at full retail, meaning that if you're not getting any discounts from your local distributor, at full retail, the most expensive brush in the line is below $15 US. You can't beat that. It's an excellent quality, great value, and they work beautifully. So in about 3 weeks, these are going to be available, and I know that the brush guys are going to be bringing them in because I already asked. And so if you get an opportunity, as soon as they're available, go visit the brush guys at www.thebrushguys.com and check them out. I think you will be very pleasantly surprised and very pleasantly impressed as I was with the quality and the application that this brush has. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. And look at this gorgeous soft edge. Beautiful. The Dynasty Stencil Pro. Terrific brush and a great value. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again soon.